Iran recently took a disturbing turn in its conflict with the US. After struggling to defend itself against Operation Epic Fury, it shifted its focus to Qatar and Kuwait. Not by hitting military targets, but by attacking energy infrastructure. The US responded swiftly and forcefully, reminding Iran of just how much damage it is capable of inflicting. On March 18th, Iran launched 5 ballistic missiles at Qatar, one of the world's top LNG exporters. Qatar's military intercepted 4 of them, but the 5th struck the Ras Laffan Industrial City, igniting a fire. This wasn't Iran's first move against this facility. Earlier on March 3rd, a Shahed drone had struck the same plant, prompting Qatar to temporarily halt operations. The March 18th attack, however, was far more serious. QatarEnergy confirmed the facility suffered extensive damage that could take years to fully repair. European natural gas futures surged dramatically in the aftermath, with some benchmarks jumping over 28% in a single morning. Iran then followed up with a 2-day drone assault on Kuwait's Mina Al Ahmadi refinery, one of the largest oil processing facilities in the Gulf, handling roughly 730,000 barrels per day. While the attack ignited fires across multiple refinery units and forced some to shut down, it failed to take the facility entirely offline or cause any casualties. Still, the move signaled Iran's willingness to target civilian economic infrastructure as a wartime tactic. It's worth noting that these attacks weren't entirely unprovoked. They followed a chain of retaliatory strikes. Iran had first attacked the Shah gas field near Abu Dhabi in mid-March, which provides around 20% of the UAE's annual gas. Israel responded by striking Iran's South Pars gas field, the country's most important domestic energy source. Qatar, which shares that field with Iran, publicly criticized Israel's strike as dangerous and irresponsible. Iran's subsequent escalation, targeting Qatari and Kuwaiti energy facilities, proved Qatar's concerns well-founded. Iran's broader strategy appears designed to turn energy markets into a weapon. By attacking LNG plants and oil refineries, it hopes to drive up global energy prices and pressure the U.S. into halting Operation Epic Fury. Analysts warn the damage at Ras Laffan could contribute to a lasting global gas shortage, with experts noting that even a sudden emergency shutdown without a proper controlled sequence can cause significant damage on its own. Meanwhile, most Gulf energy producers have been forced to reduce output, a trend that will worsen if Iran continues. This conflict has also introduced a new dimension to Gulf regional politics. Energy isn't just an economic resource in the Gulf. It's the backbone of diplomacy, political stability, and social contracts between governments and their populations. Attacking these shared energy assets threatens the entire web of relationships that bind Gulf nations together, which is precisely what Iran wants. The more disorder it creates, the more leverage it gains against the U.S. The U.S., however, hit back hard. The military deployed A-10 Thunderbolt II aircraft to the Strait of Hormuz to hunt and destroy Iran's fast attack boats, small, high-speed vessels that Iran has used to threaten commercial shipping through the strait. Roughly 20% of global oil consumption passes through this narrow waterway, and Iran has largely succeeded in disrupting traffic there since Operation Epic Fury began. The A-10s, with their powerful autocannons and air-to-ground weapons, are well suited to neutralizing these fast boats before their crews can react. Simultaneously, the U.S. dropped GBU-72 bunker-busting bombs, each weighing 5,000 pounds, on Iran's hardened coastal missile and fast boat launch sites. Guided by GPS and inertial systems, these weapons are capable of penetrating reinforced concrete before detonating. The message was clear. Iran may have struck Gulf energy facilities once, but the U.S. intends to ensure it cannot do so again. The U.S. has also been destroying Iran's mine-laying vessels, with 44 reportedly taken out by mid-March. American leadership has been explicit about its intentions. The commander of U.S. Central Command stated the military remains focused on dismantling Iran's long-standing threats to maritime commerce through the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump went further, warning that if freedom of navigation isn't restored by March 24th, the U.S. will begin targeting Iran's domestic power stations. The U.S. is also intensifying strikes against Iran's Revolutionary Guard command and control infrastructure, making it harder for Iran to coordinate future attacks. One of the most significant wildcards is Karg Island, a tiny island that handles over 90% of Iran's oil exports. The U.S. has so far spared its oil infrastructure, but Iran's recent actions may change that calculus. Reports indicate that U.S. officials are actively discussing plans to seize the island militarily, which would give America direct control over Iran's primary source of revenue. Over 2,000 Marines are reportedly en route to the region, raising the stakes considerably. If that seizure happens, Iran would find itself unable to fund its war effort while simultaneously facing relentless military pressure, a scenario that could bring about the collapse of its economy.